are at Shelters by Jesus podcast, and we are so excited that you're with us, you're watching, you're listening, you're hitting subscribe, you're hitting like, you're sharing with your friends, because that brings money in. And if you want to help get people off the street, you go to sheltersbyjesus.com. If you'd like to give, it's $9. We'll get somebody off the street. We also have 4 books out written by the dumb hick from Skowhegan, me. And they have 2 prices, $10 are free. And you put your name and address right there and tell if you want books 1, 2, 3, or 4, all of them, we'll mail them right out to you. You also can call the office at 207-474-8833 and give them your name and address there, and they'll ship it. But the other thing you can do is get a tour. When you call that number, say, I'd like a tour, and you'll meet the residents. You'll see everything we have. And we're just excited about you being a part of this. So now, on to the podcast. Okay, here we go with our podcast. We're excited you're watching. Thank you for tuning in. And this is going to be an exciting podcast. I continue to like to put families on. We have a family here. We'll introduce them in a second. People have the wrong impression about homelessness. I keep driving that home everywhere I go. It could be you. It could be me. It's people with kids. It's not just guys out there that got problems or causing problems. As families find themselves homeless as well. And I got a guy and his children, and he's going to give his story here in a minute. John was on another podcast with another guy before, but we got his children here now. So, you guys, anybody want to share your name? You don't have to give your whole name. Just give your first name. What's your name?
Brody.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 7.
You're 7. Okay. And how old is a pretty girl?
I'm 13. And my name is JC.
JC, you got a teenager. And how old's the other pretty girl?
Well, I'm very old, 56. My name is John, and this is my family.
And we're excited. I always say I'm excited and I'm sad at the same time. I'm sad you guys have to come here. I'm excited that you're here. And I want to go on record as saying right now, you're not going to meet 2 nicer children than these. And I keep complimenting John on them. They're like the invisible children, and I didn't realize you were a teenager because I never knew a teenage girl that was that quiet. You know, when mine were teenagers, man, I tell you, I put plugs in my ears during the day because quiet never described by teenagers. How about you, Sam? No. So, John, you want to talk about how you wound up here with your children, how your children wound up here, and I'm sure people like to hear the story.
Okay, well, so anyway, on the last podcast, I explained that 4 years ago I came down with pneumonia.
Put that over there.
And then, so from that point on, I lost my home. My ex, their mom, decided she'd go her separate ways at the same time. So that left me living with my mom for about a year to heal up from what happened, the process. Meanwhile, my ex had found another boyfriend and moved my kids in with him. And there wasn't a whole lot I could do about it because my health was terrible. So
what was wrong? What did you have for health problems, John?
Well, I ended up with pneumonia, but with complications.
Oh.
So I had 2 heart valves put in.
Whoa.
And then I was supposed to have those replaced again a year and a half ago, but there was too much damage in my heart to do that. So they said, make do with what you got. So I do my best with what I have to work with.
So when you say you do your best, what is your status, your heart status right now? According to the doctors.
In the doctor's terms, well, they had me on hospice. It was that bad.
That's bad.
And they had me on tons of medications. And I just didn't feel good. I kept feeling worse and worse and worse. And I tried to explain that, and it just wasn't working. So what I did was, unfortunately, I got mad, and I stopped taking all medications. And I started researching natural things. And I found out that just not having those medications and exercise and here I am today, and I'm feeling better every day. So it's a miracle. It's a straight miracle.
Well, I've been around you, and if you didn't, I'm kind of sitting here going, what? Because if I didn't hear you just say that, I would never know you have heart problems.
Yes.
You definitely don't go around like a guy that's out of wind all the time or sits down or whatever. you don't act like somebody with heart trouble.
That's for sure. That's absolutely right. I do have the scars to prove it.
I do too. I had triple bypass, so I got a train track too.
It's a lot. It's very complicated. I got 42 different ailments.
You got who?
42 different.
I didn't know there was that many ailments
I
out
didn't
there.
I just don't pay attention to them. I just
You're an encyclopedia.
Yeah. Well, I ended up losing my toes. They're complicated a bunch of things.
I didn't know that either.
Fast suppressors, because I supposedly passed away twice. And that's what brought me closer to God, because before this, I really wasn't, I believed in God, but I wasn't religious at all. I didn't follow God that much. I just worked.
Like a lot of guys
I
with
thought
families.
that was, the way to do it. But so anyway, this all happened, and I started looking into God more, and because of the things that have happened to me in my lifetime. And this is 15 years ago. I had back trouble.
Yeah.
So spinal stenosis, ruptured discs, and the neurosurgeon told me, you have 2 years to walk and you'll be in a wheelchair, so get ready for it. Da, 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 da. I said, no, that don't sound very well. So 15 years later, here I am walking fine. I get along, and I pretty much keep up with almost everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
So
This stuff is amazing me that I'm listening to now, because what I see, you don't appear to be in that kind of condition.
And I try not to. I don't usually tell anybody about it. It's hard for me to come out of my shell and say this much. Like most of those doctor terms, I've forgotten. I have no idea what they even mean. So, but it's just a miracle, one after another.
All right.
And well, anyway, back to my family.
Yeah.
So I waited 4 years. It's been 4 years since this process began. When I came down with pneumonia, lost my home, and she had my kids. So between me not feeling good enough to be able to take care of my kids,
right,
and their mom kind of being real, I have to have my kids with me, that thing. I was like, all right. So I bided my time, and I waited patiently, and then impatiently, and then sometimes patiently.
Okay. All right.
And anyhow, 4 years went by, and their mom had just gotten evicted a couple weeks ago from her apartment. It's perfect timing. I was here already. I'd been here for 7 months, and it's like home to us. Pastor thinks we call it a homeless shelter, but we don't even call it a homeless shelter. It's home. It feels like home. So I was lucky enough to be here. And when that happened, when she got evicted, I went down, I got her a storage unit, helped her move out of her home or her apartment. And then the kids had no place to go. So I said, well, they're coming with me. So came up here, brought them up here. I was a little worried about how they'd adjust, but I don't even think they were here 15 minutes, and they were off having fun. And it's been all uphill since. It's like I say, it's like home. They've got everything they need, and they play. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Well, I'll tell you,
it's hard to explain because it's that unbelievable.
They're probably two of the most well-adjusted young ones that I've had here. So I said I wouldn't embarrass you. So if you don't want to answer my question, you don't have to. But I know that the people are watching this going, I wonder what these kids think about all of this, and especially since you're a teenager. I didn't know how old you were until now, but you are. Since you are, I'm very careful because I had a girl that was 12 here, and I thought she was 16. So I did. Maya, I went to her way back, and I said, I'd like to have you on my podcast. I'd like to have a teenager's point of view. And she says, where's the teenager? And I said, well, you. She says, I'm not a teenager. I just turned 12. And I go, oh man, I am so old. It's been so long since I've had teenage. So I would not have guessed. I wasn't even trying to guess your age, but you told us you're a teenager. So now I can actually ask the question that I couldn't ask Maya, is what it's like to be a teenager at a homeless shelter. So now I can ask, in your name again?
JC.
JC? Mm-hmm. JC. Does that stand for something, or is that your name?
It's just my name.
How do you spell it?
JACEY.
Oh, so it's not a J and a C. It's actually JC. Mm-hmm. I've never heard that name. That's pretty cool. All right. So what's it like coming into this place as a teenager? What does it seem like to you?
Well, first coming in, it was kind of hard adjusting because I've really never been in a place like this before. And it was kind of hard moving from one place to another. So it was kind of hard for me first coming in. But after a few days, I started adjusting, and here I am now, and I'm happy to be here.
Are you content here? Are you not afraid here? Do you feel safe here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that's very important. Because people talk about homeless shelters. I've never been to another homeless shelter. I mean, I've driven by, I know where they are, but I've heard some stories about them where people get hurt or whatever, and they're afraid to be there. A lot of people will stay out in the woods because they're afraid to go into a homeless shelter. But we've really worked hard to make this place safe. But you, as a teenage girl, and that is that's an age when, because you have one not much older than her. She's 16, right? Right. So to have a young teenage girl come in and feel secure, that's it kind of puts us at a different level from homeless shelter.
And it puts the father at ease too, for sure.
Well, I watch you guys, and I don't know how many times I come to John and just say, you guys look like you've always been here. You look comfortable. The children, well, you're not a child. You're a young woman. Pardon me. You're a child. But you're 13. You're a young lady. What grade are you in?
I'm going into 8th.
You're going into 8th. Okay. So, wow, you're going to be a big middle schooler. You scared?
A little bit.
A little. It's a big step.
Mhm.
It is to go for. People say it was just the next room down the hall, but it's more than that, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Because all of a sudden, it's just different because you're out there with the teenagers and you're in with the older kids too, right? Yeah, and you're just a heartbeat away from high school. You looking forward to high school?
Not really.
Okay. I love an honest teenager, man.
Yep.
Yeah. So what is it about high school that you'd say, well, maybe I'm not that ready for it?
I don't know. It just seems a lot more higher to me, if you know what I mean. And I've never been in high school before, so I don't really know what it's like, and it's really new to me. So it's just,
It's a fear of the unknown. Is that it?
Mhm.
All right. You know what? I don't think you're the first young girl to head for high school that got a little nervous about it. I remember our kids, they were going, I'm excited and I'm scared at the same time, because I'm used to my friends at this age and doing these types of things. And you got kids there way older than I am. You get seniors, and you go as a freshman, there's people there that actually almost ready to get, well, some of them have jobs and they're all grown up. And it ain't like the little kids you used to being with, right? So now I want to come to this guy right here. Tell me your name again.
Brody.
Brody?
Mhm.
Brody. That is a neat name. Brody. Brody, again, how old are you again?
7.
7. Oh man, you're all grown up. I thought I had a little kid here. I got a young man again. Brody, what is it like for you to be here? What do you think about being here?
I just feel comfortable. I can sleep better than I did at home, and
Really?
it's been so fun here.
So what are some of the things that you find is fun here?
Playing with other kids.
Playing with the other kids?
Mhm.
So have you made some friends? Are some of the kids your friends?
Yes.
So who's your friend?
Kyrie.
Tyler?
No,
Kyrie? Oh, Kyrie? Yeah, he's everybody's friend. Can you keep up with him?
Mhm.
Because he's like the everybody. He's like the Flash. I mean, we look one place, he's there. We look another place, he's over there. So he's a hot ticket. How old's Kyrie? 6, 7?
I think it's about 7, 6.
I think he's a year younger than.
Yeah. So he's a year older than you. So he's the old boy on the
Younger
class. Here.
pastor.
He's the old guy.
No, he's younger.
Younger.
Oh, he's
Kyrie's
younger than you.
younger. Yeah, 1 year younger.
Oh, okay. I thought he was a year older. Well, you want to tell him how it is then, because now you're the older guy, right? You know the ropes. Yeah. So what kind of stuff do you guys play? What do you do?
Like, like run and play tag and do lots of other stuff.
Okay. Do you guys ride bicycle at all?
No.
No. Well, do you like to ride bicycle?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to see what we can do about that, because young man needs a bicycle to ride, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll have to see what. I thought we had some bicycles. We don't have bicycles. We'll have to look into that, because that's a pretty important thing. This bicycle stuff, right? Yeah, I think I remember being little ones. Yeah, a long time ago.
I have an example, if I may, Pastor.
Well, you may.
Yesterday it was raining all day, so in the sanctuary, Brody, Kyrie, and the little girl's name is
W.
Dahlia. They all sat down and played with Play-Doh.
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 all afternoon for hours and hours. And most kids will start to fight and argue after a few minutes. These guys all day, they just had fun. Yeah, it's amazing.
I want that to go on record because it's first for me. I haven't heard this before.
Yeah.
We get 3 kids together for a day.
Yeah.
Put me and my siblings together for a day.
Yeah.
That many hours.
Black and
even
blues.
even now at our age.
Sometimes they'll do a movie night in the sanctuary.
Yes, we did that. We've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That's all the kids in there,
Yeah.
and it's fantastic.
Seth, why don't you come around and just share
Well, I don't like John.
with this about this family because you spent way more time with them than I have. So we got their perspective.
Yeah.
I'd like to have you share your perspective of this family here.
It's just a joy to have him. I didn't know all this about John. Like John said, he's been here about 7 months before he got your kids.
Yes.
And he's not a complainer, and he's not one to say what his issues are. If you ask him to do something, he won't even hint that he's sore or sick. He'll just jump on it and do it. So John had my respect. Probably since the first week he's been here. Then he says, "Hey, I got kids." I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" And here they are.
I didn't know it either. So
Yeah, but they've been good and quiet and not that we don't really care about the quiet so much, but well-behaved children.
no,
Very
but we
well
are
behaved.
astounded with it.
We are astounded.
Yes.
With it. It's good because they participate in movie night and they participate in all kinds of things, and we do our best to make it a home, safe home environment for the kids, right?
So what was you thinking when Brody said, "I sleep better here than I used to at home"? What did that sound like to you?
Breaks my heart.
Doesn't it?
It does. It breaks my heart.
Yeah.
I mean, Betty couldn't sleep well.
Before,
Well,
not that he can sleep well now.
No, I'm
Hey,
glad
he
he's sleeping
he
well
isn't
now.
picking on him.
No,
All right,
no,
let's
no,
get
no.
this straight on the camera. My chief of
No.
staff isn't picking on kids.
Right.
That could give me a rumor we get started here.
Well, unfortunately, their mother has a drug issue, and so when the boyfriend came into the picture, that's what kicked it all off. So these guys have had it really rough for the past 4 years.
Oh, that makes sense when Brody feels more
In
comfortable
fact,
sleeping.
Brody hadn't even been outside to play since November 24th,
What?
2022, until I picked
What?
him up and finally got him outside here playing. So that's just an example of what they've been through.
Wow,
And
that's just horrible. Seth.
Yeah. yes. And, so to be able to bring him here in a safe place with nice, beautiful people. Everybody helps watch everybody else's children if you're not around, or if you need to take a short break, or if you need to go to the bathroom or whatever. You never have to worry about your kids taking off. It's just fantastic. Fantastic.
So, in closing, is there anything that either one of your young ones? I'm sorry, I apologize for little ones. You young ones, anything you would like to say? You'd like to have people know about you in this place before we close out? Is there anything you'd like to do that?
I feel really safe here, and I feel like I don't really need to worry about anything that's going on around me. And overall, I just really, really like it here.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
I don't think we can get a better stamp of approval, Seth, than that. You?
No, that's wonderful.
Did you want to say anything, Brody?
Mm-mm.
No.
I'm just thinking the same as her.
You were thinking the same as her, so we're just going to say Brody says ditto, right?
There it
So
is.
what do you think of this family, guys, as you watch this? I want you to know when you put out $9, your $9 is taking families like this and giving them a place to stay. I'd say this family is a pretty good $9 investment. They are for me. And so again, thanks for giving, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for hitting like, and share this please on your Facebook page and with your family and friends. Let them know what we're doing, and let them know. If you're giving $9, let them know what you think of the $9 and what it can do. And until my next podcast, you all come back now. Here.
Yeah.